Okay. All right. That's looking good. Like the mic is working. First of all, welcome to 2018. Hey! Didn't really do any videos over the holidays because, well, I was out of town.
You were out of town. I was out of town at different times.
Yeah.
Different things going on, family, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, exactly.
Took a little bit of a break
over
the break.
I'm sure you took a break as well. So. Now we're back and with a new topic.
Back at 'em, boys.
Which is...
We don't know yet.
All right.
Something.
Brainstorming. I can cut this part of the video out.
Okay. Cut. The one thing that we could talk about is systems.
We could talk about systems.
Because I have a really, really cool story about systems.
Okay.
So it happened over the break.
The topic of the video is systems, which we did mention in one of our earlier videos.
But we're going to dive into it.
Where essentially what Nick said is systems are what make your business sellable.
Mm-hmm. And it's what makes your business run like crazy. If you don't have systems in place, you will always be a solopreneur. Once you put in like systems in place and you have people who can come in and run those systems, or even just have systems that are automatic and nobody has to run it, then you'll start to actually grow your business properly. So the one really cool story that I had that happened over Christmas, I checked basically the bank and like all of our finances once every week or two. Over the break, of course, I'd been making lots of phone calls because we ran a pretty aggressive marketing campaign to bring people into the program for enrollments. And so I didn't check things for about a week after that because that was when we were done the campaign and I spent some time with family. I was making calls on Christmas, like sales calls on Christmas. Yeah. And like all the way up to Christmas. I had like webinars on the 23rd. I drove up to Edmonton, did like webinars, all that kind of stuff. The system that worked in our business over the break, 2 weeks after Christmas, I went and I checked our financial statement from our bank. Yeah. And I found out that someone had enrolled online without me even knowing about it. So we had a new client that went through every single thing that they needed to go through without me even knowing about it. Like they went through, they came in through one of our Facebook ads, they saw all the videos, they did all the research, that was all there on the page for them, they put their information into our system, then they purchased through our system, then all of the information that they needed got emailed to them, they even had like a personalized message that went to them, and so when I actually got in contact with them 2 weeks after they enrolled, they had thought that the whole time there was people who were legitimately taking care of them the whole way. And it's just because of all the systems that we have in place, so that literally went from them seeing us on Facebook to them enrolling, purchasing, getting everything that they need, and getting ready for next summer. And we were up like $3,000. Wow. Which is like, that's cool. That was pretty cool.
So systems make you money.
They make you money. And they're good because, honestly, I did take some time off. And so if that person had purchased into our program without those systems there, then they probably wouldn't have felt very well taken care of because I didn't check it. And so I wouldn't have called them, they wouldn't have had any emails, like it would have been like, here's a bunch of money, and then nothing.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So anyways, that's why systems are king in a business.
I can't really speak, I guess, from, the same experience as you, where I had, because my business isn't at a point where I have systems developed for it yet. Yet. Keyword. But the experience I did have while I was working for a builder, they had this system basically allowed the clients to interact with the selections manager without even having to meet them. And it also basically invited the clients to be part of the process of building their home. So essentially what would happen is, the clients and the sales manager would have a meeting about like a bunch of things that they want in their house. After that meeting, the selection manager would go and make a bunch of alterations and changes based on what they talked about in the meeting. Essentially, all the documents would get uploaded to this website. Then the client would be able to log into that website, be able to review all the documents on their own, and then they'd be able to either approve the change or decline it if they change their mind later on. And again, without even having to schedule a meeting and then having to go through all those things, it's just something that kind of works for you.
Well, see, that system works for the client and for the company because they're saving time and money and effort, the company is, and then the clients are happy because then they don't have to, like you said, create like a meeting in order to go and spend time with someone and say, no, this is what we want, and then it's so much more back and forth, right?
Well, then it also allows the client to feel like they have a lot more power and a lot more say in the process of their home. So
fair enough. What is a way that we can kind of share with them how to start setting up systems? I think one of the most important things is to keep in mind is if you do anything more than twice, you need to create a system for it.
Maybe also like if there's something you don't necessarily enjoy doing in your business, but it's something you have to do, then figure out a way that you can build a system around it so that it takes care of itself.
Yeah, and I think instead of anything more than twice, I think it's anything more than twice a month or like twice a quarter kind of thing, right? Because some things you just do manually because setting up a system around it could take time and effort that would be better setting up a system for something else.
So like something I could think off the top of my head is, say, if you do not enjoy driving traffic through social media, then you could basically create an ad campaign or a ClickFunnels that will find leads for you and then drive them towards your business.
Automatically.
Exactly. Without you once you set it up, then it's good and it's kind of like hands off for you, and all of a sudden you have people signing through your website and then paying you thousands of dollars
and having money come in monotonously to your bank account, which is so much fun.
Exactly.
There was a different business that I ran a while ago, but it was like a much cheaper product, and same thing. It's like basically you just set everything up. It takes a long time to do the setup, especially for the systems. Especially back then. Now it's easy because you have things like ClickFunnels and like Facebook advertising, all that kind of stuff. And then people would just come on and purchase, and it would just literally, you'd wake up the next day and you'd have more money in your bank account than when you went to sleep. It's fun.
Also, if you have the money for it too, you can even hire someone to set up that system for you. Because especially with how expansive social media is now, and also with the amount of young people that are starting to become entrepreneurs that are experts in social media, it's also very easy to find someone to just do that for you and manage all your social media, create ads for you, promotions, and drive new traffic and leads towards your business. And I mean, then you don't even have to set it up at all.
And always have that mindset going into paying somebody for something that you're not just letting go of that money. You're putting money out there with the intention to make it back tenfold. And of course, it's not going to happen right off the bat. But eventually, right? And that's the thing. That's all about what growing business is. But if you go into it with the intention like, this sucks. I'm spending so much money. I don't know if I'm going to get anything back. It's never going to happen for you. Never going to happen. And so you're always going to be stressed.
Yeah. And if you understand the power that social media has and the impact it can create, if you're concerned about the price of something, you need to switch the mindset from, this is too expensive, I can't afford this. You need to rather think of, I can't afford not to do this.
Yeah.
Because, again, if you're investing in yourself and you're going to use social media effectively, you're guaranteed to get a return on that investment. Whether it happens right away or a little later down the road doesn't matter. You will get the return on it.
But don't try
if you do it correctly.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't try it yourself if you know nothing about it. Then it either get some training or consult with somebody who already knows. Oftentimes, people who do social media work will give you hints and tips and recommendations without even having to purchase anything, just because they want to help businesses. Of course, they will want for you to come on as a client with them, but they understand sometimes you need to start making more money in order to become a client of theirs, right? So sometimes they will.
Well, like even like what you're saying, how a lot of these social media guys will do stuff for free. The one social media business that I knew, they would take on a client for free for 1 month. Just to prove that they could grow their business through social media. Even if I don't, you'll get that first, I'll work for you for 1 month for free. So,
that's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah. The systems that like we've talked about so far, mainly we're talking about social media, but yeah, like I mean, if you know enough about it, you could do it yourself. If not, you could do your own research and teach yourself how to do it. Or if you don't have the time but you have the money, you could pay someone to do it. Even if you don't have the money, it's still worth the investment, because ultimately, if you're paying an expert to do it, you're going to get a return on that investment, and it's going to be beneficial to your business, and you'll make that money back.
As long as it is an expert, because a lot of people will position themselves as experts when they're really not experts. Yeah. But there's another thing too, where you know how you said that thing where free, you could like some people do it for free. There is also those companies where it's a very small upfront fee, and then they basically just take a cut of whatever revenue that they bring in to your company. Other systems that you can do are things like sales calls. When you're doing a sales call, you should have a system for it, right? Like
Cold Call 5000.
Yeah. The Cold Call 5000 will dial every female client between the ages of 22 and 23 and leave the following message.
But like having a script for your sales call. I think it's like 85 or 90% of the salespeople across North America don't have a script. They just go in and wing it and try and do things. But when you do that, one, you don't have any data coming out of that. Because if you don't have a script, then it could just be what you were saying that day that was better than what you were saying another day, right? The other thing is, when you do have a script, you can tweak the script, and then if you tweak it and it works really well, then you keep that tweak.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because you might know more about this than I do. Having a script doesn't necessarily mean a word-for-word paragraph that you read. It could just be a couple bullet points that you need to cover in your pitch. As long as you cover those points effectively, then you're good to go.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Well, that's totally true.
But some people, word for word works better. But the thing that could hinder you in a word for word is it can come across as unnatural.
Or scripted.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the same thing with songwriting. Like, usually the first time you write it, and then you say it after, it kind of sounds like a little bit robotic. But then the more you practice delivering those lyrics or that script, then the more natural it'll sound. You'll find different ways to inflect your voice to make it sound better.
Systems can be done for anything. You know what? I can name a system that you use right now.
Nintendo Entertainment System, NES.
That's not what I was going to say. But brushing your teeth every morning or every night. You have a system for it. I guarantee it. You take out your toothbrush, you put the toothpaste on the toothbrush, you put it under water, and you start to brush your teeth, right?
Yeah.
That's the system.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you find systems helpful? If you're an entrepreneur and you have some examples of systems that maybe we didn't cover, or maybe it's just something that works for you, and you feel like sharing it down in the comments below, go right ahead and help each other out, network.
Or even if you have a slight variant on some of the systems, or if you have a different idea on what systems are, comment below. We're here, we'll actually talk with you in the comments if you want, or I don't know.
Or we'll talk with each other in the comments.
Yeah, I've had a couple of conversations with myself.
Yeah.
From one of my YouTube accounts to the other one, and back and forth.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, cool.
So comment, share, subscribe if you found our video helpful. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one, next Tuesday. Yeah. Peace. Bam.
Are we supposed to? Dude, I have toothpaste on my tie.
Gross.
That's what made me think of the